Pokemon Go's Halloween events are kicking off on October 15th. Here is the official announcement, link in the description to it, of course, if you want to check it out yourself. And in this video, I'm going to let you know the meta highlights for the Halloween event, what you're going to want to keep your eyes peeled for when it comes to Halloween in Pokemon Go. Information including, but not limited to, the Galarian Slowking and Trevenant. Trevenant looking like a really big newcomer in the PvP metas here. So let's get into it. So starting out, there are two event periods. There is October 15th to the 22nd, the Creepy Companions. So they're talking about me there. And then part two, we got Ghoulish Pals running from the 22nd to the 31st. Basically more Hoopa storyline event stuff. Will we actually get Hoopa this time at the end of it? I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, during this duration too, there's also going to be the Halloween Cup. Halloween Cup is limited to dark, poison, fairy, ghost, and bug type Pokemon. And I will have a Halloween Cup simplified video out likely tomorrow, maybe the day after, to get you guys well prepared for the Halloween Cup there. The meta is basically like the Remix Cup with Alola Ninetales in and Rainy Cast Form out. So whatever worked for you in the Remix Cup will probably work out in the Halloween Cup. But there are some nuances to pay attention to. There's also going to be a special and timed research involving Yamask. It's Halloween, Yamask season, so that's pretty good. Research Yamask is also really good as well. If you checked out my Ultra League Gourgiest PvP IV deep dive, a lot of the best IV spreads for Gourgiest in the Ultra League do have that, that floor, that IV floor for research and raid catch and egg hatch Pokemon. So really good opportunity to get an ideal IV spread on the Gourgiest there for Ultra League. Then we have some event bonuses, basically 2x normal candy for everything you'd normally get candy for, and guaranteed XL candy when walking your buddy. Now, anybody that knows anything about XL candy in Pokemon Go, this event bonus really isn't that much of a bonus. If you have a level 40 Pokemon, I believe your chance of getting XL candy when you walk it is about 75%. So this is like, what, a 25% boost to your chance of getting the XL candy, which really isn't all that significant. I'd probably prefer 2x XL candy, and then 2x XL candy for all potential XL candy gaining activities, or maybe guaranteed candy XL for all possible XL candy gaining activities. I think that would be a lot better, a lot more fair, a lot more interesting than these event bonuses. So overall, I'd have to say the event bonuses are kind of a big letdown in that respect, because Candy XL still sucks. This doesn't do anything to help it. But hey, we get that lavender music though, if you ever want to play the game with your sound on. We also have some new costumed Pokemon. I guess this is an opportunity to get Drifblim with a neat little hat, so you can flex on your opponents with your shiny hat Drifblim in the Great League or the Ultra League. They might snap their phones in half in rage, getting you some free wins by having such an exclusive Pokemon. We also have new avatar items, some new stickers, and some new reward bundles here that you can purchase. And I'm still F2P in this game. Given how much of a bummer this event is looking like so far, I'm probably going to be staying F2P for a while in this game. But if you're into spending money on Pokemon Go, these could be worth looking into. Then we have the part one of the event. So everything I just talked about is like the full event period. This is specifically part one of the event. And part one, there's going to be a special research to unlock the Galarian Slowking. Galarian Slowking, pretty spooky, cool looking Pokemon there. This slow family, slow dude, slow Pokemon, it's yet another poison psychic type Pokemon. It also has confusion, but one thing that's interesting about it is that it has Hex, so it does have the ability to reach charge moves a little bit more quickly than other Slowbro family type Pokemon do, and it also has Shadow Ball, and it's got Sludge Wave. Bad news is that this Pokemon overall looks pretty lackluster, in my opinion. Hex is good, but not great. Shadow Ball is also pretty great too, but this isn't a ghost type Pokemon, so you're missing that same type attack bonus on it. And then when it comes to its secondary coverage moves, none of them are really doing a whole lot for it either. So this Pokemon's relatively easy to manage. I think there are plenty of Pokemon that can fill its shoes, but better. And even if it were to get Razor Shell, I did do a light analysis on Razor Shell a while back, and I was like, yeah, everybody from the Slow family would love to get this. I feel like with how this Pokemon currently is in the metagame, I think it has a little bit like less to gain. I don't know. It doesn't have a water type, so it won't have the same type attack bonus. So if you're using Shadow Ball and, you know, Razor Shell, I feel like it's just going to be hitting a little bit too softly, and it's going to be really easy to deal with. But it sure does look cool, so I think it might be interesting to throw in gyms just to look at it. So I'm hyped, and hey, who knows, it could get better in the future. If you want more information on Galarian Slowking, of course, link in the description to its page on GamePress so you can read more up on it. Then we have the wild encounters here, nothing to write home about. And then for the rare spawn, we get Yamask. So Yamask in the wild. One thing that you'll notice here is that there's no Sableye, which is kind of a letdown because Sableye is always a spawn during these Halloween events. And it's not this Halloween, not even in Ghoulish Pals. It's not a spawn there. But do you know where you can find Sableye? In raids, of course. So the typical Halloween Pokemon, a general chase type Pokemon, it just feels really scummy that they're leaving this out of the spawn pool and limiting it to the raid pool. On top of that, Sableye doesn't even really do all that well with raid caught IV spreads. So it's just like people that want the XL candy, this is going to be their avenue to get it, aside from walking Sableye. And given like the rate of acquisition for raids and the fact that you will likely have to pay for raids if you want to do this and want to do other raids at the same time, you're probably better off just walking your Sableye for the XL candy, because greedy Mr. Hanky just doesn't want to put it in the spawn pool for some reason. One Pokemon that is nice in the raid pool, though, is Yamask, because its ideal IV spreads in the Ultra League are raid caught IV spreads. So between egg hatching and research rewards and a few 1-star raids here and there, it's extraordinarily likely that you're going to get one of the better Yamask IV spreads for the Ultra League. I think if you were to just do raids, it'd be about 20 raids for a 90% probability, which is, pretty much spot on. For most people, it's probably going to take like maybe 10 raids. And then also egg hatches, researches can be considered raids as well. So like 10 to 20 pulls, and you'll probably get the ideal Gourgiest there. Giratina Altered Form is coming back, which is interesting for the Ultra League. Master League, Giratina Altered Form still stands out. And then also it's a good way to get Giratina candy or possibly XL candy for Giratina Origin Form. So if you're into that, I'm not too into the Master League myself or the XL Master League, so it's kind of a sleeper for me because I already have a Giratina for the Ultra League there. So, but it's here. And then for Mega Raids, we have Mega Gengar. If you are into Mega Pokemon, Mega Gengar is the best Mega right now and probably will be the best Mega for time to come. Probably the best Ghost type Mega as well. So if you don't have Mega Gengar yet, this could be a good time to get it. If they are going to add Megas to the Master League sometime in the future, or PvP in general, Mega Gengar is probably going to be the best one, especially starting out, because we don't have Mega Lucario yet, and we don't have Mega Gardevoir yet either. If you want to know what the best Megas are for PvP, link up above and in the description to my video on that, and on my article on that on GamePress as well, if you are curious. But Mega Gengar, pretty hype. I still haven't done a Mega Raid myself because I still think the Mega system is kind of trash. Even with the Band-Aid fix they put on it, it's not enough. And if they're going to add Megas to PvP, then it's definitely not enough. So we'll have to see what Niantic's next move is with that one. Then we have the eggs. Nothing really to write home about here. And the Pokemon Go egg gacha is probably the worst of the loot boxes in the game. So I guess it's kind of a good thing that there's nothing to write home about here. Relatively mediocre picks all around. And then for field research task encounters, also nothing too exciting, except for maybe that Halloween Mischief Drifblim with the cool hat. That's kind of cool. But aside from that, nothing good. Now we're on to part 2 of the Pokemon Go Halloween event, and this is where things really heat up because Phantump and Trevenant are now here in Pokemon Go. And Trevenant is a really powerful Pokemon in Pokemon Go PvP, so definitely a big chase Pokemon, something to really pay attention to this second half of the Halloween event, because Trevenant is here, and you're definitely going to want to get a Trevenant. Along with Phantump and Trevenant, we also have Pumpkaboo and Gourgiest here, so all ghost grass type Pokemon, very similar, and Pumpkaboo and Gourgiest also have this interesting size mechanic going on with them. You can get a small one, an average one, a large one, and a super size one. So we got McPumpkaboo over here. And yeah, it's not just for appearances either. All 4 of these different sizes have different stats associated with them because back when this generation of Pokemon came out, Game Freak thought it would be a cool idea if each size had a different stat spread. And of course, because PvP is so complicated with, you know, how you want your stat allocation, like the low attack, but sometimes not, high defense, high HP kind of situation there, it's very, very confusing. Good news is that Gourgiest here has effectively the same move pool as Trevenant does, except Trevenant has Shadow Claw. Gourgiest has Hex. So that's fantastic. Another thing this thing has that Trevenant doesn't have is Fire Blast. So a little spicy, but really nothing to write home about. So Trevenant is basically the Shadow Claw version of Gourgiest, which means I don't have to think about Gourgiest. I only have to think about Trevenant. I mean, this thing is going to have a slightly higher stat product than Trevenant will. It's a bulkier Pokemon, depending on the size here. But the fact that Trev has Shadow Claw just means that in like 99% of situations, you're probably just going to want to use Trevenant. So thank you, Pokemon Go, for giving Trevenant a good move pool, and this one a slightly similar but more mediocre move pool, so I don't have to split hairs on which size of Gourgiest you want to have to do well in PvP. But yeah, going back to Trev here, Trevenant is insane. It has Shadow Claw, it has Shadow Ball, so that's like the bread and butter to being a good Ghost-type Pokemon in PvP. And it also has Seed Bomb, a 45 energy cost charge move. You know, we got our friend Cofagrigus here, right? Cofagrigus being so awesome because it's, you know, this Ghost-type Pokemon, Shadow Claw, Shadow Ball, but it doesn't have a bait move. And it doesn't have a move that it can hit Dark-type Pokemon with either. And then in comes Trevenant. Has a better bait move, 45 energy cost bait move to Dark Pulse's, 50 energy cost for a bait move? So it's got a better bait move. And it has Grass-type coverage, which hits most Dark-type Pokemon. So Trev is already getting a solid leg up over the Cofagrigus here. And then to add to that, there are plenty of meta-relevant Water-type Pokemon that we resist with our Grass subtyping and can hit super effectively with Seed Bomb. So yeah, overall, Trevenant is kind of looking like a better Cofagrigus here. To make things even better for Trevenant in Ultra League too, to max it out, I think it needs to be like level 43.5, which is significantly cheaper in terms of XL candy compared to Cofagrigus, which you need to power up to level 50 to have it be good. And then to add to that, Trevenant doesn't even have to be an XL Pokemon to fit in the Ultra League, which means that Trevenant can work out well in the Ultra League Classic Cups that may come out in the future. I think they're also happening this season as well. So Trevenant is just a very flexible Pokemon, kind of like the same idea as Cofagrigus, but overall kind of a bit better. Now, that's not to say that Cofagrigus still doesn't have its role in the meta. It is a mono Ghost-type Pokemon, and it is significantly more tanky. It's got a much higher stat product than Trevenant does. So if you think about just general neutral situations, Cofagrigus ought to be the better Pokemon more often than not. But Trevenant just seems like a cheaper version of it with a bigger bag of tricks to work with. So if you were kind of eyeing up that level 50 XL Cofagrigus for the Ultra League and you're like, yeah, it's just too much for me, Trevenant is definitely a cheaper alternative and in many cases a better alternative. Trevenant PvP IV Deep Dive, hopefully sometime before the 22nd, I'll have that put together for you guys so we got some better direction on what kind of IVs we're looking for on our Trevenants for both Great League and Ultra League. So if you're not subscribed to SwagTips already, might be a good idea to subscribe for that. Then moving on down, we have a different set of wild encounters. So the wild spawn pool will change on the 22nd as well. And once again, no Sableye, which is a huge bummer here. I don't know why Pokemon Go's leaving Sableye out of the fun. Super lame. But good news is Phantump isn't in the rare encounter pool. It's in the common encounter pool, which means it's going to be a lot easier to catch a whole bunch of Phantumps, which is fantastic. I think Pokemon Go might have hiccuped a little bit. They might have thought that the bigger Pumpkaboos would be the chase Pokemon out of this group. But Phantump is definitely the chase Pokemon here, and it's in the common pool, so hell yeah. And then when it comes to the raid pool changes, Yamask and Galarian Yamask in the raids, Phantump in the raids. specifically average size Pumpkaboo in the raids. Not super size, not large, not small, average Pumpkaboo. We also got Alola Marowak in the raid pool as well, which is nice if you don't have one built already. Haven't heard any chatter about it getting Shadow Bone for this event yet either, so kind of a letdown because it is the Halloween spooky event. It'd be cool if all the spooky Pokemon got their special attacks, especially meta-relevant ones like Alola Marowak, but I guess they just want you to spend money on Elite TMs to get your Shadow Bone Alola Marowak. Then we also have Darkrai in 5-star raids, and special little note here is that Darkrai caught during this period will have Sludge Bomb, which sounds interesting, you know, a way to hit back against Fairy-type Pokemon in the Master League, which, you know, Zarude can't do, and then Yveltal can't do that either. Fortunately, this doesn't exactly flip the Togekiss matchup, and Darkrai overall, like as a Dark-type Pokemon, is worse than Yveltal and Zarude in a wider variety of matchups, so it's still pretty lackluster for Darkrai there. I don't know if Sludge Bomb makes any impact in the Master League XL, because I don't really look into that too much, but I'd have to imagine that it doesn't, unless Darkrai somehow survives long enough to reach multiple Sludge Bombs. But in the Master League Classic, at least, Togekiss is going to be mulching this thing down too quickly for it to reach a KOing Sludge Bomb. So, sorry Darkrai, you got the cool thing, but not cool enough. And then Mega Absol is debuting in raids as well. I don't know exactly how meta-relevant it is as far as raids are concerned. It might be the best Dark-type Mega for the time being, you know, until we get Mega Tyranitar. It sure looks cool. It's got the wings. You know, it's got the little asymmetry emo shroop thing going on. So it's cool. Absol fans will definitely be blessed with the Mega Absol here. Then when it comes to the egg pool, nothing super interesting in here either. Phantump, I guess, but it's going to be in the common spawn pool. So, and then when it comes to research rewards, I guess Pumpkaboo and Phantump are left out of the fun. But we do get both Yamask and Galarian Yamask, so getting normal Yamask. You know, extra chances of getting that good IV spread for the Ultra League. Definitely nice. So that about wraps it up for the Halloween event highlights here in Pokemon Go. Basically, main takeaway is that during the second half, we're going to get Phantump, and because we get Phantump, that means we're going to get Trevenant, and Trevenant is really freaking good. And that's probably the only thing to really focus on when it comes to the Halloween event here. One thing that's interesting that they've omitted is a Rocket Takeover event. It's been over 4 months since we've had a Rocket Takeover Frustration TM event, and I have a lot of Frustration Pokemon, like good IVs, just waiting to eat up my charge TMs so I can finally use them in PvP. So it's kind of a bummer that they haven't had one yet. They haven't announced one yet. It's been over 4 months, so here's hoping, right? At any rate, if you got any questions on this content, comment below, let me know what's up, and I'll be happy to help you out. And if you enjoy this kind of content and you want to see more like it, maybe you want to know about Trevenant's best PvP IVs, well, make sure to subscribe to SwagTips. SwagTips. I'd also like to give a special shout out to these Patreon supporters. If you want to support Swagman on Patreon, link in the description. That's right, Phantump and Trevenant are now debuting in Pokemon Go, along with Phantump and Pumpkaboo. That's also in the game. Yeah, Ghoulish Pals.